of the word and start at the beginning.
Yeah, start at the beginning.
Okay. And yes, there was commitment at times. At times, but there was a lot of on and off again. Okay, and through college and even after college, lots of on and off again. And so, leading up to our marriage, we were actually off. Right, we were actually off. We were living in North Carolina at the time, 2015, going into 2016, late 2016. We went our separate ways because there was other people involved, and there had already been other people involved even in college, right? And so
be specific. Other people, what you mean?
Other women. There was.
Did you ever have other guys that you were dating?
In college there was a guy, Fabian, who I was. You
say the man's name. You say the man's name. Fabian, mind his own business.
Listen,
watching the Dear Future White podcast.
He's not. He is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Okay. God rest his soul.
Yes, and so in college there was that, but it wasn't necessarily a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I actually had used him to I used him to set Derrick up because I was tired of him being with all these girls and catching him and going through his phone and watching him do all of his stuff with these girls. And I was working with this guy and I was like, listen, I need you to help me to get him back. And I want to set this up and we're going to make it look like we're, this great couple. Like I'm cheating over here and all this. So he helped me. He was, he did. And then I would set up times where I would be like, let's meet up at this place. And, I knew Derrick would find out about it and I wanted him to because I wanted him to pay.
You want him to be jealous?
I wanted him to. I've sat there and watched, literally looked through his phone and watched him have sex with other girls.
On the phone?
On the phone. I literally watched it. And so that was soul crushing, at that time. This is well before we're married, but I've seen it multiple times, multiple girls, several. This is just in college. We're not talking even about marriage.
After that, we're going to get there in a little bit.
Bruh, hearing all of this stuff is crazy. Because you look at Derrick Jaxn, the entertainer, that's a guy who's faithful, loyal, 100% committed to his wife. But the real life Derrick Jaxn, man, this man is a whole savage out here. All the guys that he was warning women to stay away from, that's him. He is the guy. This man is basically Future disguised as Russell Wilson. And this man out here making videos? I mean, bro, I know she said this was back in college, but come on, bro.
So you and Fabian never did nothing?
No.
Y'all ain't kissed? Y'all ain't do nothing?
No.
And so you just kept that lingering for years as if y'all really did something?
Yes. I wanted Derrick to feel all of it.
And so what did he catch you doing? Just walking out of his apartment one day?
I honestly, I don't know what he really caught me doing. He never really told me what he caught me doing, but I know that he's at least seen us doing some racing. I know he's seen us maybe going to a meetup point and all of that. So
he never confronted you about that and was like, I know you're cheating on me with Fabian.
Not in college. No, we're in marriage when we were dealing with unpacking that. And then he was like, you were cheating on your husband. And I was like, okay. Okay. Maybe I was emotionally cheating. Okay, I'll give you that. In college, 9 years before we ever got married. So I didn't cheat on my husband, but it was like, no, you cheated on your husband while we're in marriage. I'm like, no, you can't use that because we weren't married at the time. So
did you have an emotional affair with old Fabian? Did you like him?
No, I did not. I was dealing with some.
I actually appreciate the fact that she admits to the emotional cheating because that's something that women tend to do way more than men. Men will typically cheat physically, women will cheat emotionally. So I appreciate the accountability on that part.
And so any sign of him touching me, any type of any different, I'm like, there has to be somebody else. There has to be.
You're talking about with a change of a touch.
With a change of a touch. There has to be, right? And so I would go snooping around because I'm a snooper. And when you seek, you shall find. That is a true biblical verse. So if you don't believe in the word of God, listen, let me tell you, when you seek, you will find. And when you find, you have to know what to do.
And what's so bad about it, people will find something, but then they won't do nothing about it.
Exactly.
Because they weren't prepared to leave.
And that was me.
You was like, I'm going to find it. I'm going to bust them. And then what you going to do? Because you're not going to even tell them that you busted them.
I did absolutely nothing. Sit there, cry. Okay, this is how, I'm going to get a little bit serious, right? Okay. I would seek and I would sit in closets and cry, and I would be in there wanting him to find me in the closet crying. And when he would come and find me in the closet crying, then I would say, I'm just crying because I miss my dad. I would blame it on something else, and they would always mostly be about my dad. Like, oh, I'm crying, but it's really because I just sat here and watched you have sex with, or right? So
No.
Woo-wee. Man, it's just so crazy because it's like women out here, they pray for a man like Derrick Jaxn. But everything that glitters ain't gold, baby. And that's why, look, we got to be careful about this, you know, couple goals and oh man, yeah, I see them. I want to be like them. I want their relationship. I want a relationship like theirs. Bro, we don't know what is happening behind closed doors. Look at Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. A lot of people are like, oh man, look at this great power couple. But Michelle Obama recently stated that there was a good 10-year period where she ain't like the dude. I mean, we look at Beyonce and Jay-Z, oh man, couple goals, power couple. But Jay-Z had his little thing and they had their issues. So in reality, in every relationship, there's going to be some good and then there's going to be some bad. The question is, does the good outweigh the bad?
But no, at that time I had asked him, I was like, do you believe the things that you're saying, right? Because this is at the beginning of his career really like taking off. And I'm like, do you believe the things that you're saying? And it really caused a rift. And so we were off. And so that time that we were off, we were still messing
because
around.
You questioned whether or not he believed that which he was sharing with the masses on avoiding F-boys and that type of stuff. Y'all fell out because you asked him if he truly believed what he was saying?
I asked him that, yes. It was a big thing and we did fall out along with the fact that there was actually other girls at the time. And so it was just all too much. And so we end up ending that. And then we both end up moving to Atlanta, right? From there.
How y'all keep moving to the same place?
So Ty, listen, people underestimate
bullshit. Girl, you know you was following his ass. I know exactly how women think. This is what she thinking. She thinking like, oh, I done put in all this work, had to deal with all of his bullshit and trauma. You think I'm gonna let him go off and be happy with some other woman? Hell no. She ain't letting that slide.
Were y'all in the...
We were in technically a committed relationship when we were in Raleigh, North Carolina, living together.
When y'all was making a plan to move together.
Right, when we were making a plan to move together, we were moving together like as a unit.
As a couple.
But we ended up falling out before then. And so while the plans were still on to move, I had already transferred jobs. He already had whatever he had going on. And so made the move. My mom came down and she helped me drive down to Atlanta. I had my own little space. Anyway, we were still engaging sexually, even though we were off, right? And so it was in this time where there was a lineup of us. We was passing each other on the stairway in and out.
No, y'all wasn't. No, y'all was not passing
you think this is a game.
You were not passing each other on the stairway. No, y'all wasn't.
We were passing each other on the stairway. Like, this is my shift from this time to this time. So, I was a willing participant in that. And it's like, I can laugh about it now, but it's really sad, to like, what space do you have to be in to accept that? And so I dealt with it already, so I could laugh about it now. And it's funny,
that's what
but it's like,
right? You look back at your old stuff and
but
laugh.
I'm just like, what? But yeah, no, seriously. It was, I'm coming over at this time. I know such and such is going to be rolling through about, an hour and a half later. Yeah. And sometimes we went a little bit longer. So literally passing each other on the stairs, like out the door. All right, have fun, your shift, and literally. And so there was a lot of people involved at that time. We weren't in a relationship. So all the people that like committed relationships. So I was just on the rotation at the time and I ended up getting pregnant.
Not on the rotation.
With our first child. And it was in that I was like, okay, Danae, you got to figure out what you're doing with your life. You are whole pregnant and you can't get rid of this child because I had already had 3 abortions before and the Lord had already dealt with me. And I was like, Lord, if you save me from this, I'm not going to ever do this again. Got pregnant. I was like, I can't go back on my word, Lord. I don't want you to kill me. Yeah. But so I started, okay, I got to figure out what I'm doing with my life. And then I started getting a little bit more serious. Like, what are we doing? He was still doing, stuff with other girls. I knew about it. So I did still participate in some sexual activity and all that, knowing that he was with other girls. I was a willing participant. But it did start to take a toll on me mentally and emotionally because I'm pregnant. Yeah. Right. So there was a lot of women involved in that time. And it was in that time that I had a conversation with his mom. And I was like, listen, I don't have another 7 years to give.
Goodness gracious, man. This man, Derrick Jaxn, is a whole savage out here, bro. This man ain't just out here cheating, man. He out here cheating. Goodness gracious.
So after that, was everything going great for a period of time? Was there a period of time of wedded bliss? Don't say define what wedded bliss is.
Okay, no. We're not going to do that then. So Wedded bliss.
Was it happy? Was it like, oh, he stopped? I'm not threatened by other women that he's bringing into the relationship.
No.
We're good. He's thriving. He's doing these car videos, and he's thriving, inspiring millions of women across the world. And he's treating me the same way as what he's telling other women to accept treatment as. He's honoring me as his queen. I'm his wife, and he's treating me accordingly.
Okay, so no.
It's crazy to me how a lot of these like dating gurus don't really practice what they preach. It's like they understand what their audience wants to hear and they know which talking points to use. So they're like, okay, they like to hear about a guy taking them shopping. They like to hear about a guy paying the bills. So let me just talk about that. But they're not actually living that life themselves. You got to be really careful because people out here just saying whatever they need to say to get the clicks. So it seemed to me that Derrick Jaxn been out here just grifting the whole time. He don't believe none of the crap he's saying. But you know what? I ain't even mad at the dude. The dude found a lucrative market, which is lying to women, telling them what they want to hear. And he took advantage of it, man. You know, look, I can't even hate on the dude. You know what? Good for him. Good for him. Because you know what? I bet you he was out here dirty macking in the streets. If you was with me, baby, I'd treat you much better than all those other guys. I'll pay your bills. I'll do all this other stuff. Meanwhile, he just going in and smashing and dashing. And then a light bulb went off. Click. And then he was like, wait a minute. If these women over here believe in my lies, I can just say that same exact stuff on the internet and get paid for it. That's a smart guy right there. That's, you know what, man? He owned to something.
No, it was not. And I wish it had been. But so after that, we went on our honeymoon. That was great. Even at the honeymoon, it was like he was on his phone a lot. And so, I felt some type of way about that, but I like, whatever, he has to work because, look at the life I'm living, I got caught up in like, oh, I never experienced anything like this before.
Explain what that, because people don't understand what you mean by that life. What life are you living?
Okay, so there is a life of glam and riches and fame. Like when you have some status, it comes with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with access to stuff. It comes with like this extra treatment. It comes with money. I had not experienced any type of level of that. And I'm like, I've been all them Disney movies are paying off. I'm living the life of the rich and famous. Look at him. He's fine. And he's doing this. And I get to stay at home. And like, I was a whole Atlanta housewife without being on a show.
And there it goes. There it goes. Because everybody going to ask, girl, if he doing all of this stuff, why the hell you going to sit here and stick around? It's because of the lifestyle. She was living the life of the rich and famous. She got this dude. He looks good. And see, this is why, I know the red pill is getting a lot of heat lately, but the red pill ideology will never go away because of things like she just said right there. Why did she stick around? Oh, because look at my man. He's so fine. Because look at this lifestyle. Look, I'm staying at home. I ain't got to pay no bills. Is that all it takes to put up with a toxic man? Is that all it takes? Because look, and that's what I'm saying. That's why dudes are like, all right, man, let me go ahead. Let me hit the gym. Let me get my money up. Because then I can be out here cheating and doing whatever. And she just going to stick by my ass. And so men can't help but wonder, is this all that women really care about? But truthfully, that stuff really doesn't matter. Because obviously, here she is, getting a divorce, complaining on the internet, because none of that stuff really lasts in the end. But the thing that really irks me is I just know there was another dude out there who would have treated her well, who would have never cheated, who would have been loyal, faithful, supportive, all of that good stuff. But guess what? He ain't look as good as Derrick Jaxn. He ain't had a status of Derrick Jaxn. He ain't had the money of Derrick Jaxn. I've said this before. Women will put up with a lot if the guy fits the mold.
But no, it wasn't just marital bliss. There was a lot of women that he was still at minimum having conversation with, and that I caught him with, and I was just like, this cannot happen.
You caught him having a conversation?
Yeah, it's like he's literally texting them while we're in the bed. I'm like, why is this name in there? Why are you still talking to her? I thought I had told you how I felt about this, and this is where I had still in a toxic way But I had started being a little bit more vocal on the toxic side of saying, hey, this is not okay. Essentially I was expressing at the root of it, this is not okay. And I feel some type of way about it, but it wasn't in a healthy way. I could have done it a lot better than what I did. But there was that. And then with that, it was like, you're insecure, I have to do business. These are business people. I built these relationships. I'm like, well, nobody told you to mix business and pleasure. So if you have business with them, that means, guess what? You need to cut all business ties. This is not a relationship that you can have. Right. And so that caused a lot of just friction. And it became, I'm insecure. I'm unhealed. People change, but I need to figure out my own stuff, which, I mean, those things are true. I was insecure. I did need to.
This man gaslit the shit out of her. Goodness gracious, bro. Life of being with a narcissist.
I did need to figure out some things like within myself to be more secure and at least to come to him assertively and be able to communicate in a more healthy manner. But it still did not pacify or negate the fact that these conversations in these relationships should not be existing. So there was both of those dynamics happening at the same time. And I didn't have the words or the tools to be able to really navigate that the best way that I could have.
So to be clear, at this point, what year are we talking about? Year 1 or 2?
This is the first.
So the first couple of months.
Goodness gracious, bro. This is the first couple months of marriage, bro, and he already acting a fool. This is a prime example of do what I say, not as I do. And it's crazy to me because women, they wish for a man like Derrick Jaxn. But be careful what you wish for, because here we have a man who is preying on this woman's low self-esteem and then gaslighting her and then thinking that she's the issue when he's the one out here dipping and diving in all these different women. And then he keeps her around for what? So he can project this image of having the nice, wholesome Christian family?
Did you ever find out how many women he actually cheated on you with?
As a whole in marriage?
In, out, or whatever. Was there ever a moment that y'all had a come to Jesus moment where he sat down and said, listen, to my knowledge, this is how many women I've slept with?
Okay, so part of the recovery process where we were in the program for infidelity and all that is discovery. And in discovery, it's like we've trickled out a lot of information. Now it's time to go to level 0, ground zero, they call it. And so he had to make a list. And so he made a list of women, so everything that he could recollect. And there was nearly 100 women on there. And so.
You're talking about the 100. Where are you going back
to? That he wrote on the list. Now.
You're talking about why y'all.
Yo, bruh, this man got 100. He cheated with 100 women, bro. This man ain't only cheating, bro. He cheating more than most men. Out here telling women all kind of lies, telling them exactly what they want to hear. This man is an entire slut, bro. He is an entire hoe. He's a whore, bro. This guy is. Oh my God, bro. You know what, man? Derrick Jaxn, come over to the red pill, man. Come over to the red pill space, bro. That's your only move at this point, bro. Go ahead, ditch the good guy act, and just embrace the red pill. Come over to the red pill space, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like, look, bro. The guys will love you over here, bro. Just come over here, teach us your ways. Show us how you was out here sleeping with over 100 women. We want to know what is your secret, man. Come on over. Come on. The women, they don't want you no more. Look, come on over to the red pill and do your thing, bro. You can be on Fresh and Fit. You can be with Andrew Tate, bro. Look, bro, you gonna be a star. You gonna be a star. We're gonna revitalize your entire career. So clearly, Derrick Jaxn ain't believe none of the stuff he was talking about. He was clearly out here just pandering to women so he can make a profit. So I don't know, guys, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think of this whole mess, man. Is Derrick Jaxn just done? Should he go ahead and just move over to the red pill space so he can revitalize his career? You guys give me your thoughts. Which points did you agree with? Which points did you disagree with? Leave it in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you got anything out of this video, hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.